So patch is out. 1.1. Well, 0.1.1. The first big, huge patch for the new year. I haven't seen anything yet, and I will go through the entire patch note line by line slowly to see where we stand and to see whether or not I'm going to continue playing the game. I know they've decided not to nerf anything, and they've mostly focused on getting endgame content to a better state. So I'm hoping for good things. I'm excited. All right, tomorrow we're planning to release patch 0.1.1 for Path of Exile 2. Pending any last minute hurdles, this patch contains new endgame tower maps, checkpoint. So different tower maps? Like, are they just gonna be different biomes and shit? Instead of just the fucking towers? That'd be nice. Respawn attempts for the Arbiter of Ash. Maybe if I tried it early on, but it really didn't feel that bad just playing against Arbiter of Ash. Didn't feel like it really was a struggle at any point. As well as many monster changes, unique changes, improvements, and bug fixes. I wonder what they changed for uniques. They said they wouldn't nerf anything, so I don't think they nerfed a Hoa. But if they've made other uniques viable, that shit is super, super nice. That is an awesome line of text. Okay. Contains new endgame towers, maps, checkpoints. Is that what they just said up there? Yeah. Respawn attempts, as well as many monster changes. Okay, I'll just get into it. Endgame changes. Added 4 new tower map areas. Alpine Ridge, Bluff, Mesa. Nice. And Sinking Spire. I wonder what that's going to be like. Mesa is probably my favorite map in PoE 1. I'm hoping it's kind of like what we saw in PoE 1, or what we have in PoE 1. But it does say it's a tower map. Are they still just not very good to run? Like, are they still going to be like too small compared to regular maps? I don't know. I would like Mesa to be a full-fledged map. That would be sick. But I think PoE 1 Mesa is a little too small compared to the average PoE 2 map. Because Mesa was also one of the smallest maps. So maybe it wouldn't fit. I'm excited to just see the name Mesa. Alright, 4 new tower map areas. The Lost Towers map area has also been revamped. So we have 4 new and the current existing one. I'm assuming these will just take place for the towers. Oh! This is nice and zoomed out. Okay, I feel like getting into the game, I'm just spoiling myself on the patch, so I'm going to hold off on that for now. Bluff. Mesa. Okay. Alright, so that's what this means. Oh, there's 2 mesas. Oh. Yes. Yes. 3 bases. Oh my god, yes. I'm excited. But okay, so this means the towers are changed to have new biomes and new map layouts. Okay. That's pretty good. To address the problem of only having 1 attempt at the Arbiter Bash boss fight, you will now have up to 6 respawn attempts to this fight. Okay, so it's back to regular PoE 1 system for the Arbiter. Is it just the Arbiter? Respawns can only be triggered by the person who put in the keys, and everyone in your party will be respawned at the same time. So if you're doing a group, like let's say you're fighting 2 people, or you're fighting the Arbiter with 2 people, and the person that didn't put in the key dies, you don't just end the fight, you keep fighting. But if the person that put in the key dies, the other person can no longer gets to fight. I don't know what this means in terms of group content. I also don't play group content, but that's a weird line of text. Because currently, when you are fighting a boss with a group, if your party members die, you still continue the fight. They're just dead on the ground. So I wonder what this means. Leaving the map still forfeits your attempt, so you'll still need to fight the boss with the build you walked into the map with. Higher difficulty of the boss will lower the number of respawn attempts you receive. You still have 6 portals, so what does that mean? We'll be looking to add respawn attempts to other pinnacle content over time. Okay. The Arbiter Vash can no longer be interrupted. Okay, so this is only for Arbiter Vash. Okay. The Arbiter Vash can no longer be interrupted during his falling flame seed skill. His flame gale skill can no longer be blocked. I'll be honest, dude. Ever since the first time I fought the Arbiter till now, the Arbiter has not used a single skill the entire time. So I legitimately have no fucking idea what the Arbiter does. The Arbiter is now invulnerable for longer during its emergence and now takes significantly reduced damage while emerging. Okay, so this is the phase transition, because the Arbiter, you fight the Arbiter and he gets insta-phased, and then he goes through a phase transition, and then you just instantly kill him again, which has been my experience. So this means we might have to, like, actually do mechanics and dodge the attacks. That's fine. That's fine. I think I fought the Arbiter too late because I couldn't find any of the goddamn citadels. So the Arbiter fight was just kind of a meme. So maybe I'll actually see what P does at this point. Added checkpoints to mappers. Thank fucking God. Oh my God, this is so important. I hope it's a fuckload of checkpoints. This is based as fuck. This is based as fuck. Like, this will make maps feel significantly less shitty. It I think sort of eliminates the issue of, oh, I'm going through a long map and there's a rare at the very beginning that I missed and now I have to like walk all the way back. This just completely mitigates it, and that's awesome. The Arbiter is now way less likely to target minions when using a sword, which should prevent some of their skills being used. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what Arbiter does. I also don't play minions, so I don't know what either of those lines of text even mean. Map areas now contain a minimum of 3 rare monsters. Citadels can now appear closer to the Ziggurat Refuge. What does that mean? I mean, we just saw my layout. It's on reset. But there were no citadels when I last saw it. And I went pretty fucking far out of my way and spread myself really far and wide to find citadels. So I don't know what this exactly means in the context of actually finding citadels in my state. But that's alright. If this just helps people find more citadels, it makes the invitations cheaper and I can fight the bosses more often, so overall, good change. If this results in more citadels. Improve the visibility of citadels on the endgame map, thank fucking God. Dude, sometimes that shit spawns right in the middle of mountains, and it is awful to see. That shit is awful to look at. It is invisible. You could just completely miss a citadel when you're going through your atlas. Maps now display their biome when hovered in the atlas UI. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's very specifically for the, for local knowledge, it's very good. Because local knowledge means now you can just use it more smoothly, and it's kind of nice to transition between the two. Between looking for precursor tablets and looking for currency drops for specific biomes, that's like a really, really good change. Added the new Overseer's precursor tablet, a currency item which can be placed in completed towers to add map bosses to valid maps and radius. These tablets drop from map bosses and can roll exclusive modifiers that affect map bosses. I'm going to have to play around with that, but that could be really, really good. Map bosses have a shitload of quant rarity on them. So this is awesome. I really, really, really like this change. Map areas have been adjusted to have more distinct specialties for the content they contain. For example, one map area might have more total number of monsters, while another is likely to contain additional content, strong boxes, essences, or shrines. So everyone's going to go for the first one. Like, if the mapping hasn't changed. All right, so let me talk about mapping in general as it currently stands. Mapping as it currently stands, you are looking for the best way to make currency out of maps is you're looking for a large area that has a lot of towers with a bunch of atlas points in between them. So all of them overlap, and you put in as many breaches until every single point has a breach on it, and then you put in a bunch of irradiated tablets. So all of them just have higher level and higher breaches. And that's it. That is the only part you care about. Obviously, you roll precursor tablets for rarity and quantity, but both of these things might change based off of this. One, shittier maps might be a little better. I'm hoping that's what this means. So you might be happier to run augury instead of feeling fucking miserable. Added the new overseer precursor tablet, a currency item which can be placed in completed towers. And this also adds a third layer. So instead of just precursors and breaches, you're planning on putting overseers, regular precursors, and breaches. So that's pretty good. A number of maps now spawn up to double the number of chests, twice as many minimum magic or rare chests. I mean, that's decent. I guess speaking on this one particularly, chests have more value in this game compared to PoE 1. Um, Also, thinking back to this for a second, I don't think I've ever seen a map with less than 3 rare monsters. I thought this was always the case, because this is the lowest number I've ever seen. Maybe this means towers, because sometimes towers have fewer rare monsters. I've gone through towers that have had no rare monsters. So maybe that's what this means. I don't know. Either way, like, rare monsters is good. That's most of your loot. Because you have the double number of monsters. I wish it would tell us what maps. This is kind of vague. A number of maps that contain... Yeah, all of these that say a number of maps, I don't know what this means. I wish they'd tell me which maps these were. But I guess over time, people will, like, play through the maps, will have more information, more data, and, like, we'll know what they're talking about with these maps. My guess is it's the bad maps, like Vol Factory, and Augury are the big ones that come to mind. I personally don't like Willow, even though, like, I think most people do like Willow because of the layout. I just don't like it because of visual clarity or lack thereof. Um, Either way, all these look like, in general, better changes for loot, which is good. Maps that are only exclusively found in biomes contain citadels now have 50% more chance to contain essences, strongboxes, and shrines. Wait, so does that mean citadels are more likely to have essences, strongboxes, and shrines? The problem with this is if they don't improve essences, in that if they don't have a better chance to have greater essences at higher tier maps, because currently there is no deterministic way to scale your essences and make it easier to find greater essences. It is completely RNG, and they're still incredibly hard to find, even if you fully focus on essences. I was testing essences, and they're decent. You can consistently get a lot of essences, which increases your chance to find greater essences, but it's still not very good. It's still not very good. So I'm hoping the further I read, they implement some change towards essences and have us be able to farm essences. Like something like T16 maps have a significantly higher chance to drop essences or greater essences from their essence monsters. Something like that would be very, very good. Also, strongboxes are kind of worthless unless they've changed strongboxes. But yeah, they just need to make strongboxes better. Right now, they just kind of suck. I just ignore strongboxes. Because sometimes they have rare monsters and sometimes they just don't. And they're kind of just bad. And shrines. Also shrines, which some of them are good and some of them are just awful. Like there's one that always drops your items as corrupted, and the one that drops all of your items as gold. I just they're just troll shrines. Like you never ever really want them on. Unclaimed hideouts areas now have substantially more rare monsters, magic monsters, and fewer rare monsters. I guess it's good for EXP. Um, and if newer players or players that are just getting to maps have a harder time getting through rare monsters, but they also want their hideout, it's I guess it's a nicer. I can maybe kind of see why. But yeah, like hideouts are easier to clear. If you don't have a hideout, it's easier for you to get a hideout. Monsters in the Untainted Paradise have been breeding. That's a line of text you've put in your patch notes. Untainted Paradise now contains 100% more monsters, of which spawn 100% more. There's quadruple magic and rare monsters. Okay, Untainted Paradise, depending on how they've scaled this, could just be the most fucking experience ever. That is awesome. That is sick. Improve the highlightability / clickability of shrines. Thank fucking god, dude. The sheer number of times I'll like walk up to a shrine and just like spam Orb of Storms instead of like clicking on the shrine is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So, good change. Reduce the damage scaling of monsters and simulacrum encounters with added difficulty. Was it that bad? I didn't do simulacrums. I did literally one simulacrum, and I have 2 points on simulacrum. I wasn't really doing a lot of delirium. But maybe I'll focus on it more now. It's just hard to focus on Delhi considering simus are so expensive for what they drop that it's almost never worth it to do simus yourself. You're usually just better off selling the invitations. You're hoping to high roll the oil, or you're hoping to high roll a megalomaniac, or you're hoping to high roll a flask. But other than that, simus are very middling. The gear is generally worthless. You're never really using any of it. So simus just kind of suck right now. Unless you high roll, in which case it's great, obviously. Adjusted chance for maps to contain bosses. You should encounter a boss roughly 1 in every 4 maps. What was the rate before? Because for me, bosses usually came in clumps. The further I got, I swear I just saw a map with an area where every single map, like there were 10 maps and 6 of them have bosses in them, which is a higher rate than 1 in 4. So I don't know. The chance for map bosses to drop a waystone of the current tier or higher has been reduced to account for the increase in total number of map bosses. Okay, so they've been reduced, but in theory, the number of map bosses have gone up. And technically, they should have done this change anyway because of the Overseer's Precursor Tablet. So you can artificially add more map bosses. To valid areas. Yeah. So you can artificially add more map bosses, which means it's significantly easier to get waystones. So now you have a better likelihood of just getting more waystones. In general. Depends on how significant this is. But even without this, you drop so many waystones in the late game that this doesn't matter. Like this, I think this is fine. It's whatever. The Radiant Waystones Atlas Notable Passive now provides plus 15% chance for map boss to drop a waystone of the current tier or higher. So this is a nerf. The map boss waystone chance passives now provide plus 6% chance for map bosses to drop a waystone of the current tier or higher, previously 10%. Alright, so these are just adjustments for it. I'll see how the numbers play out, but this seems fine, and I didn't get most of my waystones from bosses anyway, so I don't think this matters as much. You get a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't think this was the only way to get waystones of higher tiers. I think that fell on getting as much Waystone drop chance on your Atlas. And rare monsters will very regularly drop T14, T15 Waystones. You're never going to run out if you're fully juicing, exalting, and affixing your maps. The I'm not afraid of you Delirium Atlas passive skill now grants Delirium bosses in your maps drop 100% increased Simulacrum Splinters. Pretty good. Simulacrum Splinters were insanely hard to farm. Like, insanely hard to farm. Reduce the number of monsters and small chests from breaches by 15%. So, direct breach nerf. But they have to, like, buff the other shit. They have to, if they're going to nerf breaches by 15% effectively, you have to buff other things. Because right now, it isn't that breach is the best by a wide margin. It's just that breach is the only one that feels good. Because doing Deli, like getting fucking shoved and pushed around by invuln monsters that fucking start dealing damage on frame 1 while being immune is really bad. The drops fucking suck unless you're dropping the good oils. And right now, that's just isolation. Maybe despair as well, but it's mostly isolation. You're looking for isolation, you're looking for splinters, and pretty much nothing else. Ritual is the exact same problem where you're looking for good omens and you're looking for the invitation, and you're looking for fucking nothing else. So neither of those actually help. So you can't just nerf breach and do nothing with the other one. So we'll see what they do. But if it's just this, like Deli gives you a bit more, and you're also nerfing breach, this is kind of shit. Increase the amount of splinters found in maps. Okay, so they're trying to push Deli up as well. Like they're trying to make Deli and breach kind of more competitive with each other. So I guess they're nerfing breach along with that as well. I don't know. I personally don't think breach is out of control. I think it's quite the opposite. I think breach is the only viable one right now. That's a decent strat to farm because it's the only one that gives you rare monsters that drop items versus Deli, which doesn't do that. If, like, they don't need to do any of this. If in Deli they gave you a way to scale the number of rare monsters and they had Deli drop good items, then Deli would be fine. Like, they needed the PoE 1 reward tile system where once you get higher and higher, you have different types of items drop. And that currently just doesn't exist. Added dedicated 2D art for waystones that are instilled with layers of delirium. Alright. This one I can look at right now. It's 8%. Okay, so they've added the fog to the map. I see. That's good, though. Like, being able to separate them is kind of nice. Crisis fragments, because like before they like all the maps look the same and you have to like hover over them, but this is good. Crisis fragments, breachstone, simulacrum, and an audience with the king now have a more appropriate gold value to vendors. What? What does that even mean? These are 2200? What were they before? What? I don't know, but 2200 is still poverty amount. This alright. I don't know why you would ever vendor anything for like boss invites, but sure. Increased how far you can zoom out of the in-game map on keyboard and mouse input to match the zoom level of controller. Wait, controllers could zoom out that far before? And we were stuck with this garbage on keyboard and mouse? And we literally have to bug the game to have a human amount of zoom. That's so fucking dumb. Okay. Skill changes. Supercharged Slam now has each successive aftershock gain 0.5 meters to radius up to 3 meters. I'm gonna try to not spoil myself. But let me take a look. It's Mace skills.
Hold down the button for supercharged slam to charge up a massive swing. The longer you hold, the more damage it will deal and the more aftershocks the slam will create. Hold down the button.
What are the numbers? Aftershock. Up to 3 meters. More damage with hits for each stage. And then you get more maximum stages. God, this is... It's still just way too fucking slow. I think it's still just way too fucking slow. Maybe it feels good for bosses. So maybe it's fine. I don't know. I wasn't interested in playing warrior before, and like having slow ass skills like that doesn't make me any more invested in playing warrior. So let's just keep going. Scavenge plating now grants you stacks for a duration based on the enemy's rarity. Normal enemies grant 1 stack, magic grants 2 stack, rare enemies get 5 stacks, and unique enemies grant 10 stacks. This is for armor scaling, so unless we read further down that they've somehow completely revamped armor, I still don't think this does anything. The lightning bolt skill granted by the Choir of the Storm unique amulet has been renamed to Greater Lightning Bolts to differentiate it from the skill granted by staves. Wait a second. Triggered Greater Lightning Bolts are now unable to trigger a subsequent Greater Lightning Bolt if the first was a critical hit. Greater Lightning Bolt now deals roughly 3.5 times more base lightning damage compared to lightning bolts. That's kind of fucking sick. Alright. That is really fucking cool. That is so cool. I want to play with that. Now, this is trying to scale greater lightning bolts. So you're scaling lightning. So it's directly competing with Spark for how good it is. But that's really cool. It is a fundamentally different way to scale the builds. Because you can't use Lucky Lightning with this. It's based off of crits. So you kind of have to play with crits. And your build is going to be very different. But this is really interesting. That shit is awesome. I really, really want to try that out. And we're leveling a gemling, so maybe it's a good time to actually try it out. Because you'll be playing Archmage. You'll be playing Archmage with crit, potentially. The Temporalis unique body armor can no longer reduce the cooldown of a skill to below 100 ms. I swear, I don't know if this is what they had in mind, but this is just we don't want you to move fast with fucking blink, so we're nerfing the shit. Which is fine. Like, blinking every 0.1 second is still blinking every 0.1 second. So I don't think this is a hammer nerf, but it is kind of funny. Temporalis becoming like a de facto thing, I don't think is a good thing. I'm not going to buy Temporalis because I don't want to get used to that playstyle. That is the whole reason I'd rather go for... I would much rather be going for a Queen of the Forest. 100 fucking %. Skills socketed in a metagem socket can no longer gain energy. What? Oh, the skills can no longer gain energy, but the metagem can. Was that a problem? I don't know about this. Would this involve putting a metagem into a metagem? Like, what does this mean? Clarified Vine Arrow's description to Clarified Vine Arrow's description to explicitly state that it hits enemies on landing. Okay. Remove the aura tag from Pain Offering for consistency with the minion skills, as the skill does not directly create an aura. The aura is created by the summon minion. Okay, this is just clarity, but it's fine. There's no changes here. Monsters. Okay, monsters and rebalancing monsters is the biggest change that will fundamentally impact how the game feels. This is more impactful than any balance change they could do. This is the main balance change. I've been saying this shit almost every single fucking stream. I hope this is good. Because this they need to completely rescale some monsters. Like that flying fuck that charges you out of nowhere, shit that hits you off screen for 1,000,000 damage. The Forlorn Soldier, I've kind of like learned to play around by just building enough damage, but the monsters have to be fucking rebalanced. The DDs, dude, the fucking DDs need all of the adjustments fucking everywhere. That shit is insane. Okay. I'm going to read through all of it, but this is arguably the most frustrating part of the early access at this very moment. And this needs to be a complete overhaul. Monsters now, I mean, this section's very big, so I'm hoping it is. Monsters now have increased toughness per essence modifier affecting them. That's kind of fine, because I feel like I just delete essence monsters now. I just pre-release my fucking spark, I click on the essence, and the essence just dies on frame 1, so this is fine. Add a small delay before monsters released from essence, monoliths can use their skills. That's good, because they also use their skills on frame 1. You're trying to make the game slower, so you made them tougher, and you had their skills take longer. Both of these are fine. Whatever, this is fine. Forsaken Miners now throw less grenades, which also have their damage reduced and their visuals improved. Thank fucking God! These are the fuckers that like throw those 3 mines, and if you kill them, the mines explode on their body. This shit was so dumb. This shit is so goddamn stupid. Alright, we're good. We're good. This is great. This is great. Rudja, the Dread Engineer's grenades, now deal less damage in cool and maps. This never felt like a problem. But that might be because I'm just too fucking far gone. My build is just cooked. Reduced how far away Faradin Playbringers can use their detonated skill from. The Telegram skill has also been improved. I don't think you should have this in the game. This just seems like a half measure. I don't think white mobs should be able to cast Detonate Dead on every other monster in the area on cooldown. I think this is a half measure that you're desperately trying to keep in the game, but like, it might feel better to deal with. I have to play the game to get a feel for how obnoxious this still is, if the telegraphing is better. But the issue is, like, monsters just have layers upon layers of Detonate Dead, and having a random magic monster casting Detonate Dead from off screen, like several screens away, just DDing everything they see, was just the fucking worst. So this shit needs to go. This just needs to have been gone. Reduced how far away Lost Men Zealots can use their meteor skill from. The visual skill has also improved. Oh, this is the other one. This is the meteor flying dudes. Sure. Again, these are both just fucking awful. These are white mobs that start casting off screen and finish casting while they're still off screen and just do your full health bar as damage. White monsters should not be dealing this much damage. This is insane. Maybe if it's like very heavily telegraphed and the range isn't as nuts, this is kind of okay, but this is just bad. This is just ridiculous. I don't know. I'm bashing on it too much right now. I've been bashing on it like all week. But the fact that they're trying to like fucking squeeze this in edgewise doesn't give me a lot of hope. The Lightning Storm skill used by the Lost Man Zealots should now always strike at the telegraph marker as opposed to somewhere random. Yeah. Yes, it should. Okay. Filthy Crone no longer uses her projectile vomit skill point blank in front of you because that's just rude and now has a basic projectile attack. Yep. Yeah, that shit was fucking disgusting. Because this just like shotgunned you to death. So if they're reducing the number of shotguns, that's an improvement. Reduce the leap distance of Vile Vulture's leap skill. The visuals of the skill has also been improved. Okay. Yeah, because this was one of the buggiest skills I've seen. If you're on the spires of Dashar and you see those fuckers on the sides of the towers, but they don't jump until you're right in front of them, and then they jump a fucking mile, and except they don't really jump so much as they clip through the fucking building, off the fence, from the ether, right onto your face. So I'm hoping that shit is fucking gone. Yeah, that should be a little better. Reduce the axe armor distance of Vol Axemen. Okay. So they are reducing the range of a lot of creatures, which is nice because a lot of creatures just had off-screen distance. So another thing that they fucking agree with me on, which is really nice. I don't think random monsters should be fucking off-screening you. Alright, let me just add markers, because I'm losing my spot fairly often. Reduce the area for Penalty Bloodborne's on-death explosion. The visual AoE has also been improved. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, reducing the AoE is a way to make it like simpler, but this is too many detonated. Some of these just have to go. Like, they just have to be removed. Because for a lot of these, it's not even the telegraph. You can see a lot of them. Some of them you can't, which is a problem in and of itself. But there are just too many stacking ways to have Detonate Dead go off on you. That's the part that fucking sucks. Adjusted the damaging area for Bloated Miller's slam skills to more closely match the visual effects. That's fair. Adjusted the area of Zalmarath, the Colossus attacks, to more closely match the visual effects. That's good. Adjusted the character behavior for Zalmarath the Colossus. Their arms are no longer targetable. Oh, this is the fucking the Sanctum boss. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, the Sanctum boss was kind of ridiculous, because they would slam, and then the effect of where the slam was going off appeared a few seconds later, and it was really awkward to dodge. In fact, that's where I died the most. I died more here than any other boss in Sanctum, including Zarok himself. So that was a weird outlier. Conversely, I don't think I've ever died to Scorpion. The Scorpion's like the most forgettable one. Adjusted the damaging area of Balak, the Sky Seer's tornadoes, to more closely match the visual effects. Thank fucking God, that shit did so much damage so far away from the actual tornado. Tornadoes now push you slightly away when they appear, and now deal less damage when they first appear before ramping up. Okay, this is very good. That shit, because Balak, everything was fine, and then he just phases out, shows up with multiple tornadoes that move giga fucking fast and just destroy your health bar. Like, he's the easiest boss in the game, except when he phases, and if he gets to his phase, he just becomes the hardest boss to deal with in the entirety of the Trial of Chaos. Reduced how often Prowling Shades can use their invisibility skill. Adjusted the frequency. Good. Yes, just insanely good. Because this is the fucker that on they will show up and then immediately go completely invulnerable. For the record, I don't think their invis, considering they also get a speed up, should make them invulnerable. Like they're just invincible and they stay invincible forever. And this is just a wasting your time mechanic, which is how I feel about DD, which is just if you know it's there and it's in your way, you're just standing fucking still waiting for it to end. This is kind of the same thing, and that shit fucking sucks. Adjusted the frequency of some monsters such as Prowling Shades and Gelid Zealots. What does that mean? Are they more frequent or less frequent? That's very vague. Vol Zealots are now less likely to repeatedly use their Eye of Winter skill. Good. Because that shit was... They've also changed towers, and this was at its worst when you had to deal with it in towers. Because this would show up all the time in every single tower. Except in towers, you're connected with singular pathways through narrow corridors that lead into like a narrow choke point where they're constantly pelting you with freezing hits and Eye of Storms or Eye of Winters. So that's what made it bad to deal with. So maybe it's a little different now. Like between towers changing and this being different, maybe towers are human and like kind of okay to play through. They made I mean like they brought Meso back. They brought back My Beloved. So maybe it'll be fine. Improved the visual effects of Fiery Zealot's Firestorm skill. Good. Adjusted the damaging area of the Executioner's attacks to more closely match the visual effects. The telegraphing for his guillotine slam has also been improved. And this was fine. The telegraphing on this was always bad, but this never felt like an issue because it's so slow that if you have even a crumb of movement speed, you're usually fine. Like, I don't think you're ever worried about that hitting you. If you just run around while you're attacking him, as long as you're not completely stationary, I don't think this is ever... I actually don't think I've ever been hit by this. I was trying to think of like, oh, how much damage does this do? Does it kill me? But I don't think I've ever been hit by this. This shit is slow as fuck. But whatever. Visual clarity improvement is visual clarity improvement. I'll fucking take it. Improve the visibility of cultist archer skills. Their toxic rain skill now deals less damage. Good. This is a PoE 1 problem as well, where that shit is hard as fuck to see. So I'm glad that this is here. Shaman Ra, the Risen King zombie skirt, no longer spontaneously explodes on death. That was a fucking thing? Yeah, that is heinous. What? That never happened to me, but what the fuck is that? What do you mean spontaneously explodes on death? Mighty Sulphurous Commander World skill now deals significantly less damage. Good. That shit has one-shot me in the campaign in the past. It is ridiculous. Because it also just shoves you and you have no way to respond to it if it starts shoving you unless it has stopped shoving you. So it's very possible for that skill, when it did so much damage, he starts rolling, hits you, and then keeps hitting you as he's rolling, and then his ass just shotguns you to death. So I'm assuming that doesn't happen anymore, but maybe. Oh god, dude. I'm looking at this list at the sheer number of vile fucking skills the enemies had. How did you think this was fine? Whatever. You're fixing it. I'm willing to accept the olive branch. Reduced how often Azlak stalkers use their slam skills. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Walking Goliaths no longer deal damage twice when they fall over. Their slam skill now deals more damage in the center and less damage around the edges. Okay. They used to deal damage twice when they fell over. God. Dude, I never got hit by some of these, but reading this made me realize I didn't bitch about the enemies hard enough in my rant. I should have gone way fucking harder based on like what I'm reading here. Half the shit I wasn't aware of because shit just fucking died, but the shit I'm reading here is insane. It is demonic. Reduce the distance of which Earnwalkers in Trial are able to initiate their skill. We've also fixed an issue where they were not dealing damage correctly, meaning they now deal more damage. Okay. I don't know. I think once you get used to trials, the trials become fine. So this doesn't bother me as much. Unless you make enemies tankier, I'm not too worried about the trials. Slither Spitters no longer deal damage twice with their projectile attack. Their melee attack now deals physical damage instead of chaos. Okay. Um I mean that's fine. I think for characters that care, this is a good change. Like for characters not running CI, this is a positive change for sure. But if you're worried about tankiness at all in the current state of the game, you should always be running CI, so this is worse for CI builds. I don't know. This is a net neutral change. I don't mind this. Maybe it feels better to play with my Ranger. Maybe I'll touch Deadeye again. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, Deadeye has been awful to play with. Compared to Spark with a small amount of rarity, Deadeye just feels significantly worse to play in general. Slither Spitters no longer deal damage. Okay. Wait. No longer deal damage twice with their projectiles. I just completely blanked on that first part, but okay. What is with all what are with all these what is with all of this shit? Why are so many monsters dealing damage twice with single hits? Like fucking god, dude. The amount of bullshit that goes into this. Fucking how? The density of monsters in Utsal has been reduced. Monsters contained in the area are now more likely to be of a weaker variety. This is making the campaign a little easier. That's good. The density of monsters in Dreadnought areas has been adjusted to result in less swarming encounters. Thank you, cause this was awful. I'm used to it now, but now I have to like preemptively roll out of choke points because I know they'll just like leap off screen behind you and block you off while your front is swarmed, and then you just instantaneously explode because enemies just attack you simultaneously and you can't move. Dreadnought is an awful, awful fucking campaign section. So maybe this is an adjustment to make that better. Improve the telegraphing for Aztec Shamans, Detonate Death Skill. Just remove it. Just, there should not be fucking 3 things that one-shot you from off screen. Improve the telegraphing for crystals left by Val Goliaths when they die. Okay, that's fine. Chaos pustules in ritual encounters have had their visuals improved. Okay. That's very good. This is particularly good for, again, non-CI builds. Because currently, because of what Chaos is, and how Chaos looks, and how much damage it does, like, just everything related to Chaos, everyone's just going CI right now, man. Everyone is just going CI. You're either going CI or you're a Fubgut enjoyer. Those are your two options. You're going Ranger and you're trying to fucking blow shit up, or you're going CI. Ah. The impending doom modifier in the Trial of Chaos has more time before it explodes and has its visual effects improved. Is that better or worse? Because the only time this is a problem is during the stupid fucking escort missions. And during the stupid fucking escort missions, you're probably waiting for even longer. So I feel like this is a net negative for like fucking gameplay. Like I feel like this is actively worse in every way. Unless they've improved the escort mission. Like they made the statue move faster because that shit is just way too long. It is way too long to move that statue, and it is so goddamn slow, man. Please. Please, game. Like that shit needs an adjustment. Either make it faster or make the path shorter. Like one of the two. Improve the telegraphing of the anchor drop for monsters affected by Essence of Torments. I don't think this was ever a problem. I think the problem is um movement speed. Like if you're slowed, it is impossible to dodge the anchor because it's also an AoE, so you can't iframe it. You're just hit by it. It's the same issue with a Doriani slam, where if you're slow, you just can't play the fight. Like you can't have any modifier that speeds Doriani up or slows you down because you will just die to the one hit. Where he's an iframe and he one shots you. So I don't know. It kind of depends on what this feels like. Volatile plants. Oh, improve the visual area of effects monster affected by essence of electricity. The time before the area of effect explodes has also been increased. Okay, so this is the same change as impending doom. That's fine. It's all right. Volatile plants are now much more noticeable, both before and as they're about to explode. That's good. It was way too subtle. Yeah, they continue to nerf chaos, which is good because chaos is fucking cringe to deal with. Like I don't want to have to take CI, but currently it just feels like I have to take CI, or the game just feels bad to play. Elemental explosions caused by minion death or those periodically cast by a rare monster have had their visual effects improved. The delay before these explode has also been increased. That is probably a good change. That's probably a good change. But if this stacks on top of one of these million other detonate deads, then it's still bad. Like, bro, I don't understand this obsession. You've improved the clarity, you've made them easier to deal with, and I'll see how easy they feel to deal with, but it isn't the ease of dealing with it. It's just I'm spending so much time fucking waiting in one spot to deal with a DD. It's just the sheer amount of time I have to sit there and wait. That's the problem. The aura from the prevents 50% of those. Now has a visible radius. That's pretty good. I mean, didn't it have a visible radius before where the ground around it was kind of ashen? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I wonder if it's like the goofy ass red ring from PoE 1. I hope it's the goofy fucking red ring from PoE 1. The energy shield modifiers on monsters now provide far more sensible levels of energy shield. Sorry. I mean, that's good though. Because before, rare monsters with resistance to your specific element plus, so just literally just lightning, um, plus the modifiers for ES just made it really bad feeling to play. So this is good. Like they just got so tanky, and then you see that you got through the energy shield, and that took you 5 to 10 seconds, and then they just instantaneously fucking die because their health is significantly lower than their ES, and their ES bar was massive. The shielding monsters modifier has been re-enabled in the Trial of Chaos. Okay. I didn't even know that was disabled, but alright, whatever. Overall, yeah, they're improving the clarity on DD, but this is only one half of it, and maybe dealing with one half of it is going to be fine. I'd have to see in the game. But this is, if they haven't reduced any of the DD, then this is still just kind of shit to deal with. General changes and improvements. Like the number of DD from what I read so far didn't seem like it reduced in any meaningful way. You'll die less, but it's still obnoxious to deal with the DD. The rebalancing is just a net fucking W though. Like rebalancing this, rebalancing this, rebalancing this, like these are all very, very good changes. A plus. But all the DD changes is like a C minus at best. You didn't fail, you like got half of it, but you didn't answer you didn't even answer half the test paper. Okay. Okay. General changes and improvements. Enables migrating from self-found leagues to their corresponding parent leagues. This can be done from the League Migrations button on the character selection screen. Okay, so you go from SSF into trade. Okay, that's good. I didn't know that was disabled, but alright. Strongboxes have been adjusted to spawn waves of monsters over a much shorter period of time. That's good, because strongboxes took fucking forever to do while giving you no loot. So they just felt bad. The Strongbox fog effect now fades away once all the waves of enemies have been spawned. Okay, so have been spawned instead of clearing. Alright, well that's good. That's a good change. Because like now you know even earlier when you're done. So it's good. Significantly increase the chance to encounter research strongboxes. I don't know what that is. I've never seen it. Is 0 to 1 rune, so having additional rune. Guaranteed 1 with the chance at the second, it means you can roll. So this just drops runes? I don't know. I don't know if this comment is real. Do essence mobs not drop essences? That's... Oh my... Oh no, dude. Oh no. That's fucking shit. That's hilariously bad. But okay. Added a visual effect to distinguish which monsters have been spawned by a strongbox. That's good. That's like the ring they used to have in PoE 1. I'm hoping it's clear, but this is a good change. This needed to happen. This is needed to happen. The volcanic crag, lightning storms, and ice spikes, and chaos barrage strongbox modifiers have been adjusted to activate after a delay. Okay. Charms now play an effect on your character when they are automatically used. Okay. Just clarity and clarity. That's good. Socketables, such as runes, can now be overwritten by placing another socketable item into the socket. Nice. Very, 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 very good. Incredible change. Attempting to salvage an item now highlights which items in your inventory can be salvaged and displays item sockets. I thought this already did that. Because when you click on the hammer, it just highlights which ones you can click, which item you can click on. But alright. Flasks with quality are now able to be salvaged. I don't know why this was not there from day one, but I'm glad you put it in there now. Thank you. Armor has been made more effective by approximately 15%. Maybe this is good enough of a change. Depends on how good mace skills are. Maybe we can try out warrior, but this isn't enough of a change. This isn't enough of a change because armor can be more effective, but armor was significantly less effective than in PoE 1. And if this is to bring it on par with PoE 1, it's still not good enough because armor on its own in PoE 1 was also not good enough. And you needed to add additional things and additional layers to make armor good. Eventually, armor got to be really fucking sick. If you played with the fourth vow, if you played with lightning coil, if you played with conversion, armor stacking was obviously very good. Armor was good at that point, but armor on its own was never very good. So it depends on what kind of additional layering we get as we get further along early access. More monsters are now able to be pushed while dodge rolling. This generally applies to most monsters smaller than a skeleton. Okay. Good change. Objects such as delirium shards can no longer be pushed by other monsters. What? Oh, right. No, I remember. Because deli shards, like the fragments you saw on your map, they could be pushed around by other monsters, and that's no longer the case. That's good. Increase the chance for omens to appear as ritual rewards. Good. Make ritual good, like them actually good, and omens are a part of it. But I think for rituals to be exciting, they need to make the items in rituals more exciting. Like they need better rolled stuff, they need more uniques, they need more types of different rituals, they need more types of item drops in general so that more things can show up in ritual so that ritual is more exciting. Because currently, how you do ritual is you look at everything that is a single square. Aside from uniques, you look at everything that is a single square, you click on all the shit that is a single square, and you just ignore the rest. You don't care about anything else. Like, because the single squares are currency items and invitations and omens. And those are the only three things you ever look at in a ritual, and everything else is completely ignored. So ritual just kind of suck right now. So maybe this will make it suck less. It needs to have more exciting things. But for now, the omen thing is a good change. Where was I? Okay. Reduce the chance for items to roll some of the less desirable item modifiers. Good. We'll have more good rare items in the market now. The sheer number of times I fucking have a really good armor and then it just decides to fucking roll um stun threshold, physical thorns is insane. That shit is diabolical. So please, just get rid of those. They fucking suck. There's enough RNG to rolling the perfect armor in the game anyway. Reduce the chance for items for yeah. Distilled emotions required to instill a passive skill onto an amulet are now only displayed on the passive skill tree after you have picked up your first distilled emotion. Okay. I mean, I don't know why that changes there. Like, you don't want to overload people with information, I guess. But dude, if they're looking at the passive tree and aren't getting overwhelmed, I don't think holding alts for these is gonna overwhelm them. Like, if they're already accustomed to the passive tree, I don't think having that additional information affects that in any meaningful way. But whatever. This is a whatever change. Add an exit portal to the Trial Master Arena. To where? If it's to the first floor, that's good. Because right now, you finish the Trial Master, and then you have to open a portal which takes you back to town, and then you have to walk to the waypoint, which involves going through the portal and then going to the waypoint. It's really bad. It's really bad. So I'm hoping this is a good change. And just takes you to the start so you can like continue farming Trial Masters, which is what I want to do. That would make farming Trial Masters and like farming Ubers actually not terrible feeling. So that's good. Remove the level requirement to access expedition vendors. Okay. Rarity of items in expedition vendor shops now increases with shop level, so shops generally have more rare items at higher levels. This doesn't affect existing shops, as you will need to use real currency to generate shops with improved rarity. So, the issue with expedition vendors right now isn't the fact that they have like bad or good item rarity. It's twofold. One is that you lock them at level 79, so they can't roll level 82 affixes on any of their items. And two, their rolling is much more restrictive, so crafting with expedition vendors is significantly worse than in PoE 1. Where in PoE 1, you would be able to regularly craft items that would be several fucking divines if they were in the market in PoE 2. Like, Expedition was a legitimate way to craft your gear to get your character started, and that's no longer the case. Like, crafting in general is weaker in PoE 2, so maybe they wanted to make the Expedition weaker in PoE 2 as well. So I understand why it's there. I'm not saying you need to like improve that, but what you do need to do is take off the level cap and make the max level be level 82 for item bases. And then expeditions would actually be exciting to do. Like, I would look forward to doing expeditions versus now I just fucking sell the rolling currencies. Because it's just not worth my time doing this shit. Because whenever I want to go do expeditions, I'm much better off doing a map and looking for high tier rares and wisdom scrolling into a high tier rare with decent affixes. And then crafting on that, or attempting to craft on that. Reduce visual clarity in many map areas to improve the visibility of skills and effects. Visual clutter. Good. Very fucking good. The maps and the sheer number of particle effects and skill effects and visual effects were just way too much. It was the age old conversation of form over function versus function over form. And this is a whole conversation with realism as well in video games. I know we were talking about it with Run yesterday, but realism in games can't carry a game. Realism fundamentally is a novelty as a concept. It doesn't realism is a novelty, but it doesn't imbue longevity into a game. Good gameplay is perennial, and when you have realism conflicting with good gameplay and mechanically interfering with the systems, one has to give way. And for video games, it is almost always function over form. And the realism and the clutter made the game significantly worse to play. So it just had to fucking go. So this is good. This is good. This is good. Thank fucking God. Like, they're actually improving it. This is awesome. Okay. Let's read this. Read this. Add a tutorial for activating your first persistent buff skill gem. Okay, people do ask questions about this, so this is good. Hell, I made like a whole short / video about it, so this is good. Improved and fixed inconsistencies for walkability throughout areas in the campaign as well as maps. Did they change Act 3? Did they change the ziggurat so you don't have to walk through the stupid fucking portal to use the waypoint? Please tell me this is included in this line of text. Improve the loading time for the world map. Good. Awesome. I thought this was a bug over anything else. So maybe they fixed the bug. It didn't feel intentional. It didn't feel like my PC couldn't run it, so maybe it was just an optimization issue. But good. Reduce the initial player revive time to 2.5 seconds. I don't play party, so I don't know how bad this felt. No comment. Reduce the player revive time penalty to 1.5 seconds per death. Per death? Is this how fast the screen show up once you die? If that's the case, then sure. Good. Oh, good change. Make me wait less and let me play the game. Alva now has an option to gamble for items when placed in your hideout. Okay. I don't mind this. I think because you can gamble into unique items, this is kind of okay. It's kind of alright. Reviving minions that die from being out of range of you now instead immediately revive near you. Reviving minions that died from being out of range of you. Okay, so it kind of just pops up right next to you. That's a good change. Because I was doing minions for leveling the Infernalist in campaign, and this would happen all the time, where the minion would just like get clipped on some kind of environmental wall or corner, and then just be somewhere off screen, and then have to like wait a while for it to revive or be respawned. So that's a good change. The quest tracker now shows which quests are applicable for the area you're currently in. Good change. Uncut gems now show their level on the item label. Amazing change. So, does that mean when the item drops, it'll say uncut gem, and then it'll tell you like what level it is, so you don't have to like hover over every single support gem or skill gem? Because that's an awesome change. That is just a fat W change. Charms now display their number of charges when they're active. Good, because charms in general, I didn't even feel them activated. I didn't know when they were active, and they added an effect for it, and now we know how many charges they have. So, both very good changes. Like, charms feel like they're not just placebo, because so far they've just felt like placebo. I know they're effective because I'm not getting frozen when I have my thawing charm, and I have literally no fucking freeze resistance. So the thawing charm is fucking sick. But it's good to know that I can actually see it now. Update the world map icons for when you have completed quests, encounters, and found items to make it more clear they have been completed. Good change. Like, all the clarity changes are pretty good. I'm still salty about all the DD changes because these are half-assed half measures, but sure. I only mention this because DD just had clarity changes. Added propagating weapon effect options to the cosmetic panel UI. What? I mean, I don't have any MTXs. I'm not really willing to buy an MTX just to find this one thing out. The Arian's Gobble, Heartbound Loop, Ironhide, and Merrick's Uxor uniques have received 2D art. Okay. Yeah, because, like, a lot of these just look like they have placeholder art, so they're slowly adding the art into the game. The Hand of Wisdom in Action unique has received 3D art. What's? What's? What do you mean? As in on my character? Oh! Oh, that's sick! Oh, that's fucking awesome. Alright. I'm down. I thought it was gonna be this, but no. It's like on the character. It looks like I'm actually wearing a unique. Very cool. Very fucking cool. Alright. Added flavor text for the Edern's Tusks and Splinterheart uniques. Yep. A lot of them had coming soon, so they're just filling out the coming soons. Very good. After activating an Omen of Whittling, hovering over an item before applying a Chaos Orb tool will now display which modifier will be rerolled. Thank fucking God. Because a lot of the times you never knew. Some of them might have like 2 low rolled affixes that are both like T2 or something, and you just never really knew what was going to fucking reroll. So, great change. Less people will fuck up items, so we'll have more good items to actually buy so I can get my goddamn rares. Awesome. Improve performance of the Cyclusian, the Chimera boss fight. I mean, that's not the issue with the boss fight. The issue with the boss fight is it just fucking flies off into a different section of the arena, and it takes forever to actually finish the boss fight because you can never fucking actually fight the boss. He's just off somewhere. But alright. Sure. Improve the performance of the lava in the Molten Vault. I just skip the Molten Vault usually, but this is Vault Factory. Whatever. I mean, like, if it's improved, it's fine. I didn't think it was an issue before, but maybe it is if you don't just, like, delete the boss. Reduce screen clutter, improve performance of the effect that plays when killing rare monster objective in maps. I just made a short about this. Thank you so fucking much. Holy shit, dude. But I wish they just made this an option where we could just fucking turn off the visible fucking screen shake every single time we kill a rare monster, because that shit was awful. Awful. Like, how is that not an option? It is like a non-negotiable term that your entire monitor will shake and you can't fucking move every single time you kill a rare monster, especially the last one, which also just makes a gigantic fucking blood tree that covers your entire screen. So you see even less of it. Whatever. I'm sure it's better. All right. Improve performance of areas with very bright lights that cast many shadows, notably Temple of Kopak and the Cigarette Refuge. I think the biggest issue I have with this is the augury, where that central area just has way too much goddamn bloom. It's actually difficult to see anything in the center because it's so fucking bright. And I have bloom turned all the way down. It's just a lot of light in contrast to the other darker areas of the map. But hopefully this includes that. And because it does say notably these two, but I'm assuming it's other areas as well. I'm hoping it's other areas as well. Improve the performance of the Ziggurat encampment in order to reduce the occurrence of unloaded textures. Sure. This is the most annoying for new players because you don't have a hideout yet. And you have to physically go and unlock a hideout, so good change. Burning ground can no longer spawn underneath interactables such as levers. This is literally a... Oh, we're sorry about augury. Our bad. I just love being right. Oh, dude, being right is just an awesome feeling. Particularly when you're like having unhinged rants. Being right feels amazing. Okay. Me's aside, this is a good change. This is a good change. Did they at least improve the amount of time you spend on a single lever in augury or no? Because I don't think spending 7 goddamn seconds moving a fucking lever that you have to do 3 times in the map is a good mechanic. I think that is still just fucking bad. And I hope they at least let us roll away from it now. Because before, if you start it and then a monster just comes around from way from off field, just slithers right in and starts pelting you with its fucking snake venom, because it's always the fucking snake monsters. You just can't do shit. You're just fucked. So, I hope that's a change that they do for augury. God, dude, augury is just so fucking bad. But it looks like they're changing a bunch of things around it. Well, one thing around it. So I'm hoping it's at least a little more tolerable. Monsters can no longer spawn near the close to the entrance of a map. This often causes the player to be immediately attacked by moving. Yeah, I just assumed that was intentional. It was bad. Don't get me wrong, it was fucking horseshit that you did that, but I just assumed that was intentional. I thought that was just another fucking fuck you to the player. But alright, that's fine. Yeah, if that's not intentional, this is a great fucking change. Because it was very obnoxious. Added keyword for honor resistance, sure. Delirium monsters are no longer untargetable during their emerge animation. As a result, they should no longer push you during this. Oh my god. Oh my god, Delirium is fucking human. This takes Delirium as a mechanic from a 4 to like a 7. This single line of text makes Delirium so much fucking better. I will apply Delirium tablets in my towers now. I will interact with Delirium as a map mechanic now. This legitimately changes everything. I actively am excited to try out Delirium. That is crazy. Holy shit. You can now pick up items and interact with some objects while performing other actions. Do you mean when you're moving a lever that takes 7 seconds to move? Is that what you mean, GGG? Is that what we're talking about? Oh, I hope that's what you're talking about. The attack in place stops movement option no longer prevents walking on skills that can be used while moving while using WASD movement. What? Okay, that was a fucking. That was a run on sentence. Let me take a second to drink my tea and realign my brain. The attack in place stops movement option no longer prevents walking on skills. So it used to prevent walking on skills that can be used while moving using WASD movement. Okay. Well then just fucking turn it off. I sure. Whatever. This is fine. It's whatever. Continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environments. All right. Generic graphical improvements, generic bug fixes. Like those not being listed is fine. Um, Hoping the game gets better. A lot of stuff I do like here. It's good. The deli changes have me genuinely excited for Delirium. That shit is awesome. Unique item changes. The Alchem Ira unique shield now provides more mana. Oh, that's like a huge change. This isn't meaningful right now because mana stackers aren't really using the shields. Right? Because this isn't the good one, right? This isn't the fucking crazy one. Um oh it's a good one. Yeah, it's one of the good ones. That's so funny to look at. It says max 20 mana, uncorrupted, but the roll ranges are like 50 to 70. Yeah, the older ones aren't rerolled, but you can like divine them to roll them. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, existing items can be so it's the PoE1 metric or method. That's a good change though. I think for leveling or for early game when you're trying to do mana stacking stuff, this is legitimately kind of viable when making focuses or making or if you're dropping this early on, I think you're genuinely kind of happy to run it when there's nothing else to run in the league. Like if you're a mana stacker and you're dropping on the league start, I think you're pretty happy. So that's good. That's good. Uh Arvil's real unique shields no longer. It's still leveling unique. You're never using this later because like currently you're either using a good focus or using a mouse adult, or you're using a good shield because shield can roll max res. Those are your three options. So I don't think end game players are ever using this, but that's good. All right, sorry, getting distracted. The Arvild's Wheel unique shield no longer has 40 to 60% increased block chance. It now provides 40 to 60% max life, and 40 to 60 to max mana. Wait, it's both? Both is good. Yeah, life, mana. If you're scaling block chance, this is good. Um, but you also lose percent life and mana on kill. Because the most important line of text on this shield is just this. This shit right here is why you would ever consider even remotely consider putting the shield on. I don't know. I feel like you're not putting this on anything that isn't a warrior, and again, mace skills are in such an awful spot that I just can't visually see myself ever using this because I can't visually see myself ever playing a mage or a mace user. Oh, this is already a new one. We like compare them side by side. But yeah, so it's just removing the block chance for life and mana. How high can the block chance get on this? 42%. 42% if you corrupt it. Um, I think there's better shields. I think if you're worried about block chance, you're almost always going for Fallen. Yeah, you're literally always going for Fallen. And even then, like you're going for Fallen if you're main handing a weapon. If you're main handing a weapon, it's a mace. And the problem with that is you have to play a fucking mace. Oh, warriors. The Ashran unique body armor now provides 30 to 40 fire res. Previously 30 and 10 to 20 strength. It's better. I think Ashran was completely unviable, so it's good now. Well, it's not good, but if I'm dropping this early on in the league, I'm not upset. I'm like, oh look, it's free fire res and strength, so that's just decent to have. Asphyxious Wrath now adds cold damage. Good leveling unique. I don't think so. This is a good leveling unique in isolation, but currently the leveling meta for bows is you get a Widow Hail and you get progressively better and better rare quivers. And the rare quivers are incredibly specific, so I don't think this can ever compete with that. But if you're just starting out, and these are the only things you got, it's a pretty good quiver to use. At's Sight unique helmet now provides 30 to 40% increased crit chance. Previously 20 to 40% and 100 to 150% increased evasion energy shield. Crits poison the enemy. I mean, the whole viability of this item hinges on how good poison is. Like, this item lives or dies by poison, and currently poison isn't very good, so this item just can't be very good. I know poison can be fine. I know poison can be fine. Don't fucking kill me yet. But in its current state, if you're playing a DOT build, by and large, you're looking to scale the damage, and it's a lot easier to scale your hit damage than to scale your DOT. If you're looking to scale the size of your damage, you also have to like scale multiple vectors to make the DOT worth it, to the point where you'd rather just scale the hit damage. So DOT is just kind of in an awkward spot. I'm going through the exact same problem because I'm trying to make the Ignite build work. And while I'm playing Flame Blast, I'm just thinking of why the fuck am I not scaling Flame Blast and crit versus scaling Ignite. Like, you're playing the poison build because you want to play the poison build, not because the poison build is good. If that's the case and you just want to play a poison build, this is obviously fine. Like, it's obviously fine, but like, you're playing a Fizz poison build. That's a really hard sell. That's a really hard sell. I don't know. This is good if poison is good. This is bad if poison is bad. That's just what this item is. Azuri's Acuity unique gloves now provide 30 to 50% increased crit hit chance. Existing versions of this item can be updated using a divine orb. I don't know. I think this is just fine. Like, it's not just fine. It's very good, specifically because instant leech is insane in this game. We have so few sources of instantaneous leech that any source of it on any of our gear is just very, very good. Like, just putting these gloves on immediately fixes all of your survivability issues. However, it's also an armor base, and armor itself just needs to be in a good spot. I know they improved armor by 15%, but like I said in that section, armor needs way more than that to be viable. Armor needs additional, significant, very heavy additional layers of defense to be good, and I don't think the tools are there yet. You need multiple layers of damage conversion. You need multiple layers of armor is also applied to your elemental damage. You need other metrics to scale your PDR for big boss phys hits. There's just so many things you need to do to make armor work versus literally any other defensive vector in the game, be it energy shield or evasion. Or max res. Like, armor plus max res is fine, but scaling max res feels like it actually has value, whereas scaling armor doesn't really feel like it has value. Because shit that fucking kills you will just fucking kill you with high armor. It really doesn't change that much. But sure, you made this decent item slightly better. The Bear Dweller unique body armor now provides damage of enemies hitting you is unlucky when you are on low life. I mean, Dweller unique body armor now provides. I'm thinking about this for a second. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. I don't think this is ever fine outside of leveling. To avoid death from hits. For what it's worth, unlucky plus this probably means this is a really good defensive body armor early on. I do think by and large you're using other body armors to level. Maybe it's a good hardcore armor because it kind of acts as like 2 layers of save rolled into one. If this wasn't removed and that line of text was just added, you are significantly safer when you're on low health. Because you have 2 layers of feign death. Which is good. It doesn't affect me, because I'm just never fucking touching hardcore in this game. But it's a good change for hardcore players. If you're hardcore and you're playing it, you're playing hardcore SSF, you drop this, you're very happy. The Belly of the Beast, unique body armor, now has this fucking meme line of text. Okay, got it. Maybe Thorns fans can finally rest in peace knowing they have a Thorns unique. I guess. Sure. Sure. The Birth of Fury unique boots now provide 20% increased movement speed, previously 15. Okay. So the reason everyone uses Wanderlust right now is that at very low levels, it is the only boot or unique boots that provide 20% increased movement speed. So this is a very good change. A+. That's awesome. The Blacked Out unique body armor now provides additional cold res. Easy bypass degree, yes. Won't follow that much life. Okay, sure. That's fine. Just making like a completely unused armor slightly better. I still don't think you use this over anything else if you have the option, but if you don't have the option, you're not that upset at getting this now. Which is fine. I think that's overall reasonable. Uh, Black Braid, unique body armor, provides 40 to 60 armor and plus 10 to res. Wait, both? Oh. Oh, dude. This is what I was talking about. Okay, well, now we know. I'm calling it right now. If armor has any hope whatsoever, it is off of this shit right here. The stats on these are fucking dog shit. They need to be, like, these, the high rolled ones. Oh god, you can roll these to be worse? Yikes. Oh, that's fucking dog shit, dude. This is fucking dog shit. But this also genuinely does seem like a very good piece of armor. Because this is in addition to the other stuff. Like these right here. This is pretty good. Like, this is not a bad armor at all. Between armor being more effective and using this armor, I do feel like if there's no other source of getting this, you have to use this. Like, if you're stacking armor, you're either using a Cloak of Flame with heat proofing, or you're using a Black Braid. And if you use both and you're scaling armor, armor is maybe potentially in some way kind of possibly viable. There you go, Warriors. The Black Gleam unique quiver now adds damage. Okay. So all the quivers, like the cold quiver, the fire quiver, is getting damage. That's good. The Black Heart unique ring now adds chaos damage to attacks. Okay. They're buffing this, which is awesome. Because this felt completely like this is a leveling item, and it kind of felt completely obsolete past Act 2. Because after Act 2, you can just get better rares. Like, shit you pick up off the floor and just Wisdom Scroll is just going to be better than this leveling unique. So this is a good change. Having higher damage means it's probably going to be viable for longer. Intimidate is a very good stat to have. So, I don't know. I'm hoping it translates well. Bloodthorn now adds more damage. Again, entirely depends on if bleeding is good. And I think if bleeding is based on fizz damage done, you still want a staff that has more fizz damage. So I don't think this is enough of a change. Blue Flame Bracers now provide more ES. Is Blue Flame what I think it is? Blue Flame. Yeah. Particle. It's fine. Sure. The Bones. The Boner of Euler. Yeah, that sounds better. Now provide more life and mana. Previously they were both 25, and now they have higher roll ranges. What's the unique modifier for this? Bones of Euler. The minions have 20% reduced reservation. Oh! Oh, that's nice. Can you corrupt these? Oh, you can. Alright. That's good. You're never using these because these have no goddamn movement speed, and, dude, like, I feel for minion players. They're just so fucking goddamn loyal for how GG treats minions. Just slow shambling and then spending fucking 3 divines for 3% reduced reservation. Oh my god, bro. Minion players deserve better. They deserve better. I stand with you as a non-minion player, minion players. The Brain Rattler, unique mace, now adds fizz damage and adds lightning damage. Alright, you're a unique mace, so already not great. Brain Rattler. Unless it causes electro build up. Okay. Okay. Okay, also an ad's coming up, so when it starts, I'll pause it for a second. Just for the sake of the stream. Don't worry, I will stop yapping when ads are on. Bramblejack unique body armor now provides 60 to 100 max life, previously 50 to 80. Cannot evade and regenerate 5% of life per second while surrounded. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, ads. Okay, I think we're back, but just in case, I will give it a second before I continue talking about the patch. The Bramblejack, Thorn's armor. I don't think it's ever really used. The Brass Dome unique body armor now has 400 to 500 increased armor, previously 300 to 400, so it's more armor. And -5 to -1 all maximum elemental resist. What the fuck? That's what it did? Holy shit. This is awful. Yeah, it's 2.8k armor, but who gives a fuck? You lose all res? Bro. No, man. This is all. That's so bad. What? Yeah, you can corrupt it into not having that line of text. But then you just have an armor that gives you a shit ton of armor. The problem is, it's a body armor, so you can't use it with Blackbraid. And I haven't seen another body armor that I would use as an armor base that isn't Blackbraid. Or Cloak of Flame. But that's a completely different conversation. The Briar Patch unique boots now provide 10 to 15. It's okay. Whatever. The Brisk Scrap has more evasion. It's decent. But unless it gives you speed, I don't think it's going to compete with Blockshade. The Bristle Board now has 50% reduced evasion rating. Previously increased and now causes you to gain 5 rage when hit by an enemy. So you're more likely to get hit, and that provides life regen instead. Okay. No. No game. The Bronze Beard. Unique armor now provides turns max life. Okay. Sure. The Brinabas now provides increased lightning res. The Brinabas. Lightning res and cannot be shocked. Alright. Alright. Sure. I don't think you're ever using that, but you might. This isn't even that bad. It gives you mana. It gives you lightning res. A decent bit of lightning res, actually. It's like 30 to 40%. That's not even that bad. That's pretty alright. Decent bit of life regen and cannot be shocked. I don't know, like, as a placeholder belt, if you capped all of your other resistances and you're like, oh, dude, I need some lightning res, you just slap this shit on, and it's probably better than, like, other things you can get. Like maybe you don't need the life that much. Maybe you don't like it's good quality. I'm playing devil's advocate here. This is not a good enough line of text to just fucking take up a unique gear slot. No. It's better, but if you have the option, no. If you drop it, yes. A lot of these changes are you're very happy if you drop the piece of gear and you can kind of play with it. But if you don't drop the piece of gear and you can't play with it, then or like if you drop the piece of gear later, you're not that excited about it because you can just buy a rare or other uniques in that slot are more specific to you and are just kind of better. So I don't know. The Bryn Hand's Mark, unique mace, now has more damage, more strength, and now has 20% reduced attack speed. Why? Because it causes double stun meld up? I don't know, dude. Like 20% reduced attack speed's a lot. That's a lot, bro. It is more damage, so you're definitely building up stuns faster, but this is a pretty stark difference. That's a pretty big difference. The Burrower unique ring now has -10 to cold res and increased mana regen. Okay. Candlemaker unique gloves now provide more fire res, less. It provides more fire res, more cold res, and now also has increased fire damage and reduced cold damage. Okay. Is there an interesting line of text on this, or do I just not give a shit? Somber gloves. Oh, I've never seen these before. Chance to ignite is doubled. That's the interesting line of text. Oh, that's pretty good. I think it's easy enough to stack and go over the ignite threshold to where I don't think you would ever use this, but it's fine. The Carrion Call unique focus can now cause minions to deal more damage or increase damage. That's good. The Chober Shaber unique mace now no longer has increased fizz, increased crit. Instead adds flat fizz and 50 to spirit. Holy shit. Holy fuck, really? This is good. That's a really good change. For minions? This is awesome. No, like, legitimately, that's so fucking good. Because you don't give a fuck about the crit chance. But if you're scaling minion damage, you're also scaling your own damage, so you can actually use skills. The problem is, those skills are mace skills, and it's just Lamau mace skills. But you can. I don't hate this. But maybe I'm wrong. Like, axing half your base crit chance is a lot. It's a lot. I think it's actively potentially less damage. But the spirit is huge. The spirit is the big part of this. Oh, but alright. Oh, that's fine. That is A-okay. The Crown of the Red Sun unique helmet now provides fire res, sure. Crown of the Pale King now provides Thorns, Gross, Dancing Mirage now has. Oh, they made this better. This might actually be viable now, because I've been saying for a while that this is probably one of the best and most slept on armors, because this is literally a Kintsugi, and Kintsugi is one of the best armors in PoE 1. So Dancing Mirage just being unviable in PoE 2 kind of just makes no goddamn sense to me, particularly if you're playing something like a Trickster, so a Monk, or Gemling, but this is pretty good. This is kind of solid. I'm excited to try this out. This is potentially the most tankiness overall you can get out of Trickster. Trickster fucking... It's potentially the most tankiness you can get out of Monk. And you get a fuckload of Spirit playing Monk, so this is interesting. The Dark Defiler, unique scepter, now has gained 5% of damage as chaos damage per minion instead of 3. Okay. Good change. Before it was... Previously this was just unusable. But now maybe it's okay. The Deathflow unique gloves now provides 5 to 10% increased attack speed, so more damage on your culling gloves. That's decent. The Defiance of Destiny unique amulet now causes you to recover 10% of missing life before being hit by an enemy, previously 5%. Ooh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll be honest, I didn't even know this made it into the game. That's pretty fucking cracked. I like that a lot. I don't think this person's actually selling it for 69 exalts. Sick amulet, though. I love Defiance of Destiny. Alright, the Dark Defiler, unique scepter. Yeah, Defiance of Destiny, Dyed Bell. More strength. It's pretty good. Devouring Diadem. That gives you health. Pretty good. Yeah, again, the trend seems like most of these are just, oh, if you drop them incidentally, you're happy that you dropped them incidentally. Versus just being like, oh, this random fucking rare I ID'd is just better than everything I'm getting as a unique. The Diana Dare unique shield provides reduced stun thresholds. Instead, it gives you life regen. Sure. I guess that's fine. The Dodri's 10-year unique gloves now provides max CS. Okay, sure. The Doomgate unique shield now provides 13 to 70% to chaos resistance. Okay, sure. Wait, which one's the Doomgate? Wait, oh, wait. My website is bugged. It's fixed. The Doomgate. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, whatever. I don't think there's a build around this. I mean, there is. It's just not very good. It's just not very good. Edern's Tusk unique body armor now has 50% chance to inflict bleeding on hit. Previous 10%. Ooh, that's a huge buff. You're still not using this because chests are just way too strong in this game. Like, you would never consider using this over pretty much anything else you can drop. But it is the only thing you're dropping. Again, you're happy with it. Elevore now provides more dex. And now provides +1 to charm slot. Ooh. That's really good. That's really good. Alright. Aryan Gobbling. Now provides more armor. more evasion, more life, more ES, more mana. More res for all of them. Nice. More life regen, more accuracy, more strength. So if you like roll one of these well, this could genuinely be kind of good. It also now provides. Oh, they added more lines of text. Increased crit chance. And increased rarity. Oh. It's every line of text is like a wider range. A wider range in a positive way. Dude, if you roll a good one of these, this is genuinely fucking awesome. Not for mana builds, obviously. This is not an Archmage helmet, so I'm not going to play this on my Archmage characters. But this shit is really fucking solid. If you get a well-rolled one, let's say it gives you a total of 30 res, and it gives you strength, dex, and ins. It gives you crit. Like, if you have a well-rolled one, this is probably one of the BIS helmets. It's not BIS, but it's really up there. For, let's say for Trickster, for example. I keep saying Trickster. But for Monk, for example, you're kind of happy with this. You don't hate this. There's your own spark focus. Now, the regen is lower when you're stationary, but you also have more base regen, I guess. So your total regen is better. Alright, that's pretty good. The Ezamite Peak gives you more life and has life regen. Okay. Feather Fortress. This is just generic leveling helmet. It's fine. Feather Fortress provides res, that's better. Stats, that's better. The Forbidden Gaze in your helmet provides res, that's better. What is the Forbidden Gaze? Oh, is that the... Oh, it's the max one. It gives you more res. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. The Frostbreath unique mace now has more damage. Also now provides plus 5%. Plus 5% to crit hit chance is an insane number. That is a big fucking number. Gamble Sprint now gives you more res and now provides increased rarity. Sure. It was weird that this was called Gamble Sprint and it gave you no rarity whatsoever. That was very strange, so good change. Like, even for flavor, good change. The Grapevine unique gloves now provides cold res, sure. Grip of Winter now provides more cold res, good. The Gloom form unique body armor now provides fire res, good. Hog Hunt no longer has increased damage, but now has flat damage. So this is a running trend, and maybe they're shifting more of the percent damage to flat damages because you can scale the percent damage, which is good. That's a good change. It helps warriors, I just don't know if it helps it enough. The problem with warriors isn't even the damage on the maces. The problem really is just the fact that the skills don't feel very good to use. And I don't know how you reconcile with that aside from just reworking warrior. The Hollow Mask now provides 13 to Chaos Res. What? Might have sent to all res, but it gives you additional Fizz DR. Honestly, this plus the other one. Um, the black, no, not the black heart. The black braid. Like, these two together is a pretty solid layer of defense. You can roll it up to 18. No, this is kind of just perfectly rolled. But okay. I still don't think you're using these, but this is pretty cool. I think the dead uniques not being dead is just overall a net positive for the game. This is all aces. Wounds and Vinden. 20 armor. Nor's him unique mace now has more damage than before, so that's good. The Husk of Dreams has chaos res and flash charges. Okay. The Immortan has been renamed to the Road Warrior. It no longer provides increased armor and now provides elemental resistances that are higher. It also provides life regen and plus to all attributes as a flat value. This seems like, so a lot of these I've noticed is very heavily pushing towards life regen. And if you can scale it, I'm wondering if you can is there a world we can make Zealot's Oath viable? Because Zealot's Oath CI means your life regen through health regen has genuine value. It's probably still a meme because you have to use uniques and they don't have high ES values and you have to scale ES, so it's hard, but it's interesting. At the bare minimum, it's definitely interesting. The Inferno Clasp now has more fire res. Very good. I wish you did this before I bought the corrupted Inferno Clasp, but sure, that's fine. The Infinite Pursuit now has movement speed while affected by an elements. Previously 20%. Okay. It's more. It now provides more evasion. This is good. The Iron Grasp now provides more strength. This is good. The Iron Ride unique helmet now provides more life. This is good. Yeah, the generic ones I'm not covering very much. I don't think these meaningfully change anything. This just makes it better feeling when you drop it and you have literally no money to spend. It makes it feel less bad when you're going through acts. Like, you just started the game, you're going through acts, and you feel like the item you dropped is less dog shit when you see it. The Keel Hall unique belt now has more life regen. Oh, it has max rolls instead of roll ranges. All right, that's a good change. I think that's a good change. The Killjoy unique gloves now provide increased crit damage. As in crit bonus? Okay. That's fine. Leercast is buffed. Legion Stride is fine. It continues to be fine. Luminous Pace. I don't think you ever use this unless they buff the movement speed as well. The Lycosidae. Buff the poison, but 200% base chaos isn't enough to make it worth it. Pretty much ever. The Mask of the Sanguimancer. All right, let me read this. It allocates blood magic. Actually, I want to check. Is there anything that allocates Avatar of Fire? It doesn't. Fuck. All right, fine. Fine. Mm, the Matsuya unique quarterstaff now has added cold damage and added lightning damage. Oh, whoops. Matsuya. My least favorite B-full chain. Oh. Oh, that's not bad at all. Like having some amount of flat damage, crit chance, and attack speed, and skills reserve less spirit. This is a really, really sick staff. Like you still have the attack speed. Your crit chance is so insanely high that. Oh, dude, that is incredibly interesting. All right, one sec. Okay, that was a big delay. Holy shit. Talk about emergency fucking phone calls. We're back. Okay, where was I? The Mist Whisper unique crossbow now has more damage and now provides increased shell duration. Okay, good, because this was fucking awful. It was so bad. Holy shit. The unique crossbows are just miserable. I mean, unique weapons in general. This one's pretty good now. I think I'm pretty excited to use this, or like early on. Particularly with those crit numbers. That is such a high crit number. The Necromantle that causes minions to have Chaos Res. Okay. Unique body armor for minions is slightly better. I still don't know if you ever use anything unique for body armors for minions. If you're playing minions, you definitely want more tankiness over anything else. Because your minions are just slower to deal with, or slower to deal damage. The North Paw unique gloves now adds fizz damage and has evasion. Good. Original Sin no longer has Chaos Resistance 0. This was so bad. This, this was such a trash fire line of text that, oh my god, dude. I got tilted from reading that shit again. Again. I need to go read the Original Sin before they just get replaced. Alright. Let's look for an OS. Thank you, Windows Defender. Chaos Resistance 0 is a wild line of text. But having Chaos Res implicit and guaranteed Chaos Res explicit is pretty good. Problem is, like, converting all of your LE damage to Chaos damage isn't really good in this game, because the reason this was good in the last game is because you can back it up with actual damage through penetration, which doesn't exist anymore. So, Ring is better. If Chaos damage is better, there's like better ways to scale it, then maybe it's fine. But currently, that isn't the case. It's kind of whatever. Painter Servant no longer provides resistances at all. Okay. They now instead provide damage gained as. This isn't usually a glove affix. So Painter's Servant is a pretty unique pair of gloves now. This is genuinely really interesting. This is pretty fucking interesting. Okay. I'd have to play around with it. I think early on, these might be the best leveling gloves early on. That changes later, for sure. Like in a few levels, you'll swap out of it. But I think these are the best gloves for leveling now. I want to try it out immediately, which is just the best feeling. Pariah's Embrace. Well, this is something I can try out immediately, which is the thing. Also, I only have an hour, and then I have to go somewhere. So I might not make it through all of this. This is also pretty good as a leveling piece of gear. You have all attributes, spirit, reduce mana costs as lines of text. Plague Finger, um, more chance of poison. Still depends on poison, and I don't know if there's currently a good enough poison build or skill to use with fist damage. Power Tread. Per power. Oh, dude, this one is potentially actually kind of crazy. Because if you corrupt this to high enough crit bonus damage, this is so much crit bonus. It is an insane amount of crit bonus. I would have to get a feel for this, but this is potentially just insane. It is potentially just insane. It might be the Biz Boots for Choir. If you do Choir the Storm for like crit, then I don't think you would be too far off calling these the Biz pair of boots. Like, you do need decent movement speed. That is, I don't think movement speed is a negotiable term that you can really avoid. Like, you absolutely just need high enough movement speed. So maybe that holds it back. Because 15% movement speed as a max is kind of difficult to reconcile with, for sure. Either way, let's keep going. This is an interesting change, though. This is a really good change. The Prayers for Rain now provides additional lightning res. I actually already like the armor, so this kind of makes it better, so I'm kind of okay with this. This is kind of cool. The Quaddle's Malts. What? What? Can I be poisoned? That fucking sucks. The Quasholi Mace now has more damage. Seeing Stars now has more damage. All pretty good. Seeing Stars was probably one of the better uniques. I know I have one right there. It is. Uh, Energy generation being doubled is a pretty good thing. That's a really, really cool mace, though, huh? Like, you can play around with a bunch of trigger skills and just walk around randomly triggering shit. I I kind of love it. I do want to try out Seeing Stars. I'm so curious. Mm, the Sentry unique quarterstaff now has more damage. It has no physical damage. Adds accuracy. What's the Sentry as a base again? The Sentry. Yeah, it deals no phys damage. It does have really high ignite chance. Alright, I'll bite. That one just looks kind of sick. I'll bite. So let me just read through all these first. I'm going to keep all these in tabs for items that I'm interested in trying out. But let's just keep going for now. I want to test all of these. Like, all the good ones. The ones I'm just kind of brushing aside, I'm brushing them aside because I don't really think it's that worth it to try them out. Like, the change isn't meaningful enough to me. Maybe something breaks it, but for now, it's kind of just... Sure, it's fine. It exists. It is sort of buffs all the way down, which is good, maybe. Seron Inheritance now provides more resistance and now has minus 15 cold res. What? Okay, what is the Seron Inheritance? Oh, it's this one. If you self chill, it's pretty good. Other than that, it's kind of whatever. Smiling Knight now has a shit ton of more armor and evasion. I don't know if it's good enough as a unique to be used. Splinter Hearts has more damage, which is good. Uh, Spellcall's Desire now has intelligence, which is fine. Tesla Pokal. Depends. This is very heavily dependent on... Oh! Oh, this also has intelligence now. Yeah. Well... This might unironically be a good body armor to wear. What the shit? Thunderstep. Increased movement speed. It's also base 20. I'm really liking the boot changes because this gives us more options aside from just fucking Wanderlust over and over. Titan Rot now gives you more armor, way more strength. Holy shit, okay. 30% increased strength is nuts. That is so much strength. Trample Toe now provides 15% movement speed. Okay. Tree Fingers. Gloves adds more fist damage. Stun builds up. So it has more stun build up and reduced attack speed. Oh, this is... Wait, isn't that... Yeah, it has Giant's Blood on it. So this is the one. It has more fizz damage, which is the best part about this now. You're not attacking fast, so the reduced attack speed maybe doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. You can get it down to 3%. I mean, I guess that's the thing. I'm not trying this out because I don't want to try out Warrior. I'm sorry, it's just not very interesting with the mace skills as they are. And I have seen nothing regarding the mace skills, so it doesn't really strike me as something that I am actively very invested in. Warriors need more fundamental changes for the needle to really shift. The Trench Temper unique mace now adds way more damage. Okay. Let's go look at Trench Timber Spiked Club. This doesn't really matter. The reason people use this is because it says plus to minion skills. This is the line of text. If it's plus 4, it is insanely expensive. If it's not plus 4, it doesn't matter. Like, if you look at all the uncorrupted ones, because people just want to corrupt these for the minion builds, they're not that expensive. Why are they not that expensive? That's weird. These look like price fixes. Yeah, 15, 18. I'm sure like people are just going down this list and DMing everything on site. And most of these are bots, which sure. That's what it feels like. That is definitely what it feels like. Because the price difference doesn't make sense. If you're like everyone would be buying these and everyone would be corrupting these on site if that was the case. But the item is way too rare. There are how many uncorrupted ones on the market? Actually, 4,394 is a lot. Maybe it's not that rare. Maybe it's pretty fucking common, actually. Alright, whatever. This is tentatively better. I do think the most relevant line of text as it currently stands, mace or no, is the fact that you have plus to minion skills on a one-handed weapon. And that is the biggest line of text on this item. The Trafina unique mace now adds plus damage, existing items. Okay. The Trafina. I'm going to keep this on the side. Because I do want to check later on. Oh, it's this thing. Always deal critical hits against heavily stunned enemies. I mean, yeah. This is kind of cool for what it's worth. But the base DPS is so low and it's two-handed. Even if you always deal crit hits, I don't know if this is enough considering how low the base damages are. Base damages are less relevant in PoE 2 because you have a lot more sources of flat damage to get for attack builds, but still, I don't know if that's enough to justify this. Like, would I rather get this or would I get something that has higher base values and base crit chance rolled so you can get a higher crit chance value as a baseline? Because the warrior side of the tree has a lot of crit nodes. You have a lot of crit nodes and you can get your crit chance decently high to the point where I don't think this matters as much. The Ungel's Harmony unique amulet now provides a lot more crit chance, but that's more of a cast on crit sort of item. Right? Because it's the one that does no extra damage. Yeah, your crits do not deal extra damage. Which is fine. Like, you can roll them. And max rolling them at 200% is kind of cracked. So, no, there you go. There you go. And 200% is a lot, by the way. Like, from just a base 15, 200% alone takes you to 45%. But yeah, that's, again, for niche builds. You don't do bonus crit damage. So, this is entirely based on what you can make work with it. You could do some pretty interesting cast on crit builds. So I don't know. I might play around with this. The problem is with cast on crit, if I wanted to run with this, both Choir and Ungils are unique amulets. If you were doing a cast on crit thing, this would be everyone's first instinct to use. The Visage of Aya unique helmet now provides more lightning res. Is that what I think it is? It's the one with the floofy top, right? The one that goes like swoop, like it's a fucking hat that belongs in Dune. The Benner Gesserit looking ass helmet, if it ever loads. Is the trait side broken? I think the trait side's broken. Yeah, I think everyone's doing the same shit where they're just buying the new uniques to try them out. I thought I had one, but maybe not. Can I even look for it? No, I think the trait side is just broken. Yeah. I was still streaming. I was still streaming. It's literally just a trait site. Okay, well, we're towards the end. So let's just continue. The Vault Protector unique body armor now provides Chaos Res. Pretty good, actually. Okay. The Wake of Destruction unique boots now provides movement speed. Good. The Wandering Reliquary unique body armor now has stealth thresholds. Whatever. The Windscream has up to 20%. That is huge. For Hex Blasting, that is massive. Holy shit. The Wings of Kalen unique helmet now provides 20 armor. The Wonder Trap unique boots now provides 10 to 20% increased movement speed, 10 to 20 strength, and 10 to 20 dex. Oh! Oh, this is now kind of bis. What? Can I at least look up Wonder Trap? Because the Wonder Trap is now OP as shit. This is now the de facto. If you're leveling with attributes, this is de facto the best. This one's kind of huge. Because the default was going to Wanderlust, but now we have so many options because there are so many boots that have a max roll of 20% movement speed. That is a huge shift. All right, leveling is probably more fun now. And it's not like it's not going to be crazy increase in terms of damage, but it is still just way more well suited. Like 5 additional to both max and min is massive. It's massive, dude. And finally, the Wyland Stake unique mace now has 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 added fizz and fire damage. For both. Oh. It now also provides 20-30 fire res and 10 to 20. That's a lot of stats. It's a mace, but like it's a mace, but it's also a lot of stats, dude. Flat damage on 2 values, plus 20-30 fire res, plus 10 to 20 strength is just a lot. It's a lot to put on a weapon. This is potentially just the biggest fucking buff I've seen on any, like, as far as like a before and after, this is a huge fucking glow up. But maybe it could be Choir of the Storms as well. Because we don't know how strong that's going to be. I will spend so much time playing with that. That shit sounds fun as fuck. Like, Cast on crit is generally very fucking cool, and that shit just sounds awesome. All right, bug fixes. I'm gonna give these more of a quick run through, and this isn't even because I'm limited on time. Just the virtue of bug fixes are just bug fixes. They don't really alter the balance of the game in any way, but I do want to see what they did fix. Um, they specified they fixed exactly 4 client crashes and exactly 4 instance crashes. Good job. I'm so proud of you. Alright, fixed a bug where Mana Flare, Elemental Discharge, and Ember Fusillade triggered by Dust Visual were not considered trigger skills and therefore could not generate energy. Okay, that's fucking troll. I'm glad you fixed that. Where objects such as vine arrow plants were incredibly harnessed targets when dealing splash damage with the impulse modifier called Creative. Okay. That's weird, but okay. Fixed a bug where Siege Cascade was targeting vine arrow plants and frostwall ice crystals. Fixed a bug where Herald of Ice was still exploding shatter enemies when the gem was set to be used with your currently inactive weapon set. Oh, that's hilarious. Like, you deactivate it, but it just refuses to be deactivated. It will not be silenced. Where tier 5 mini pack support was able to drain the life of lingering illusions. That's pretty funny. Fixed a bug where tier 5 bows could not roll attack speed and tier 5 rings could not roll max. That is insane. They were physically disabled from rolling 2 of the best rolls they could have. That is that is diabolical, bro. Really? Fixed a bug where you could briefly be unable to perform any skills if you tried to interact with an object and dodge rolled at the same time. I remember seeing that happening. Good to know that they fixed that. Fixed an issue where checkpoint of Temple of Kopek boss could sometimes take you to the first checkpoint of the area. What? Okay. Fixed a bug preventing the quality bonuses on Shockburst rounds and Hailstorm rounds from applying. Okay. Like, I fucking guess, sure. They just did nothing with quality. Fixed a bug where Shockwave Totem did not work. I use it with the National Protection. I've never used totems. I refuse to use totems since they took totems out from PoE 1 and I hated totems. I'm not going back. We're going to be waiting for several years before I consider using totems again. Fixed a client crash that could occur with Pyre Siphon while holding a shield. You just crash the game if you use Power Siphon. Fixed a client crash that could occur in couch co-op while interacting with unique stash tab. Okay. With the corruption, it's one part of the campaign in the game and it's broken, and he had to fix that. That's funny. The corruption altar thing. Where Vine Arrow is not slowing enemies. That's pretty bad. Good to know that it's gone. Fixed a bug that caused Sigma Solid to fail to shield you during Jamun Ra. Oh, that could just brick the runs. This is a stay in softcore angle. This line of text right here is wild, bro. Fixed a bug where terrain generation for the client can get out of sync with the server for the trial of Sekimas. Wow, okay. Fixed a bug where the influence range of Lost Towers could fail to display. Yep, that happens all the time. I'm glad to know it's gone. Fixed a bug where crossbows could fail to reload if the player did not have enough mana available. Okay. Yikes. Bro, crossbows, man. Oh my god. It's a bug where Spark could fail to cast while standing on the edge of walkable terrain. It's a bug where temp chains debuff icon was not displaying the correct description when hovered over. Fixed a bug where Ghost Dance would remain active when the player no longer met the spirit requirements. Oh, you could just bug Ghost Dance to like remain permanently active even if you took off spirit items. Oh, that's OP. That's broken as shit. The way forward Atlas passive would cause the Arbiter Bash to drop T16 Waystones of T15. Oh, dude, that is an OP ass bug. I mean, I would make the argument that if you're taking two Atlas nodes, like you're taking 4 passive points on your Uber Boss specific Atlas, I think they should drop T16s and not T15s. I think they should drop uncorrupted T16s so you could roll them so they could be like really high value T16s. I don't think 3 T15s is a commensurate reward for putting the points into this tree. And I think T16s would make way more fucking sense. If this was a bug, I feel like this should be intended. Fixed a bug where some unique bows, because that would make the Atlas passive actually unique. That would make it interesting versus 3 T15s when regular bosses can just drop 3 to 4 to 5 T15s anyway, so this isn't that meaningful. It's kind of a nothing passive right now. Fixed a bug where some unique bows did not play audio when firing arrows. Okay. Fixed a bug where engraving support gem did not play audio. Okay. Fixed a bug where quest items would not drop again from their respective objective. The player dropped them on the ground. In an area where the difficulty was different to where it was obtained, characters in a broken state should now be able to reobtain the quest objective. Oh, you can literally brick your fucking game if you drop an item. Oh, shit. Okay, thank fucking God I didn't do that. Fixed a bug where some interactables can be cancelled by using dodge roll. Yep, that is the switch. That is the fucking lever. That is the fucking lever. That is the fucking goddamn lever from Augury. Thank you, game. Thank you. Thank you so much, actually. I'm desperately trying to not sound sarcastic as I say thank you because I genuinely do mean thank you for fixing that. That shit is awful. Fixed a bug where a flask could cause the player to lose life if stat items requirements were met in both weapon sets. Yep. Yeah. Fixed a bug where friends would show offline when they change characters. Fixed a bug where the interest in did not play on the PC platform. There's an intro cinematic? Whatever, I'll look at it later. I'll look at it later. Fixed a bug where incomplete unique items could not be obtained. Where incomplete unique items could be obtained. What do you mean incomplete unique items? The fuck is an incomplete? Do you just remove lines of text from the item? What the fuck is an incomplete unique item? Fix some wonky interactions with the... It's so weird to read wonky in like the official text documents, but sure. With the additional inventory slots from Titan's Colossal Capacity Ascendancy passive skill. Okay. That makes sense. I saw this shit and I was like, this is going to be buggy as fuck. Please let people trade with this. Make it actually useful. Give me something to give to the warriors, man. I don't hate warriors. I just pity them. Fixed a bug where the hooded one would not identify items stored in additional inventory slots granted by. Yep, that makes sense. That it seems like second verse, the same as the first. Fixed a bug so inventory no longer opens with dragging the atlas the cursor over a map node. Okay. Social bug where we're walking away from a corpse and back to it could cause us to visually display a new remnant with Grim Feast. Oh, you can just like constantly spam Grim Feast feastables. The feastable bug exploit. Fixed a bug in the Riverside map where a boss arena force field could appear before entering the boss fight. So you just lock yourself out of completing the map if you do that. That's kind of funny. Um, Problems in Savannah Abyss for sections of the areas could be inaccessible. Yep, I've experienced this with Seepage. Fixed a bug where unique item Corpseway did not work when the player was using the King of the Parrot and Body Armor microtransaction. Okay. Where Hateforge unique, where negative values to maximum rage cause the modifier to not show. That makes sense. Fixed a bug where Blink allowed travel to the past in the Cigarette encampment without traversing through the time portal. Is that a skip? Is this a mother fucking skip in the campaign of PoE 2? Speedrunners, Havoc, fixed a bug within the instilling UI that displays a tainted oil slot which doesn't exist yet. Fixed a bug, please add it to the game. Fixed a bug where allocating Chaos Inoculation would incorrectly count you as being on low mana. Yep, and it made one of the notables completely useless. This makes, just for the curious, in case someone's watching this later. Where is it? Mana. So, before this patch, CI did not work with this, so you would not get the reduced mana cost reduction, so this made this node effectively fucking useless. That is no longer the case. I will update my guide, particularly for Stormweaver, because this was broken at the time, so I told everyone to take conservative casting. Right now, you can still take conservative casting. This is a good node, but this is an infinitely better node, and if you're using CI, you should take this. You should take this node. This node is insane. Alright, rant done. Crossbow skills can fail to reroll while spamming the ability when using a controller. Yikes, fucking crossbows. Fixed a bug when stashing a skill gem with attached support will cause the support gems to become invisible. Yep, that makes sense. Fix the alignment of Mirror of Kalandra within the currency stash tab. What? Oh, wasn't misaligned? For fuck's sake, dude. Fixed a bug where gas clouds could spawn in unwalkable terrain. Fixed a bug where minion objects could stretch into unwalkable terrain. Yup, to both of these. Holy shit, that was actually a thing that happened. All the fucking time. Just like terrain and any kind of object on the screen just has been having issues. So I think this is going to be a more overarching thing that they fix over time. Again, this is an early access symptom. I'm not too bothered by this. Fixed a bug where the world map always open displaying an above ground area, even when the player was in an underground area. Really? I feel like this was working fine. I don't know. Was this a console thing? I don't know, I guess I'm misremembering. Fixed a bug where strongbox could fail to generate any monsters. Yep, have seen that happen. Fixed a bug with dodge roll, allow player to roll through bone walls and frost walls, so you can no longer roll through boners. Fixed a bug with dodge roll, which allows the player to roll off the Ardura Caravan ramp. Can you get back on, or do you just brick yourself? Oh no. Oh, that's fucking cursed. Fixed a bug where these could not be used for the 3-to-1 recipe. Yep, experienced that personally. Fixed a bug where the relic modifier, giving a chance to gain another key, was incorrectly always applying. That's pretty funny. Skip tutorials no longer prevents you from leaving town without engraving a gem. Nice. Alright, thank you. Remove the redundant block chance description on Cephal's frame unique item. Okay. Fixed a bug which could cause the landmark. This is what they mean. This is. I'll show you what they mean. I have a Cephal. They need to add that search tab over there again, but there you go. Oh, are they just gone? Because this used to have block chance on it. But, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's just gone. It's fine. Cephals is now working as intended. And Cephals continues to be fucking awesome. It is such a sick shield. Okay. Fixed a bug which would cause a landmark just in the Mausoleum of the Praetor from being opened. Alright. I guess. Sure. That's fine. Fixed a bug where Elemental Storm was missing the trigger tag. Thank you. Fixed a bug which allowed Glacial Cascade hits to freeze enemies. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. I thought this did freeze, but maybe not. Fixed a bug in the Trail of Sekimas where some traps audio failed to play. That's fine. It's mostly visual. You need to like see where the traps are to like safely dodge through them. Fixed a bug where Unbound Avatar could gain stacks from inanimate objects. Okay. Fixed a bug in the Temple of Chaos where leap slamming into the arena could cause encounters to not complete. Alright, so you can't fucking skip through it. Don't get too horny when you're doing this. That will cause you to fail the temple, I guess. Sure. Fixed a bug where damage gained as were missing tags, causing essences to be unable to roll these modifiers. Oh! That's interesting. So, this makes crafting a little harder. Because when you were crafting lightning wands before, like when you're crafting... Let me go take a look. Because you generally don't want to hit lightning as when you're crafting for Archmage. But this means you're less likely to hit the spell gems and this. And these are the two most important lines of text on the item. And now you're more likely to get gain as damage. Okay. The same is true for fire and cold, obviously. But lightning is the most popular one, and this directly impacts that. Fixed a bug where some loot in the Temple of Chaos could get stuck in blocking. What? What do you mean in blocking? Do you get walled off from it? I don't know. I've never seen that bug. But sure, good. Don't keep the mans from his loot. Do not keep people in a loot-based game from their loot. They're not going to be very happy. Fixed a bug where a favorite map slot UI notification would appear when corrupting a T15 into T16. Okay. I saw that, yeah. I saw that. Fixed a bug. It's the fucking diamond with like all the fucking circles on it. Fixed a bug which could prevent the player from returning to Vesteria outskirts if they traveled there by warping to a player member, then warping to a different player member in Act 1. What? Fixed a bug where supercritical support 2D art was not displaying in some cases. Fixed a bug where expedition chests and maps were not displaying their rarity. Okay. Controller improvements. Is there anything else? Console improvements, localization fixes, microtransactions. Enabled some existing cosmetic microtransactions on PoE2. Siren, Heritage. Can I use any of these? But I think that's it for now. I thought I was going to try some of these in the patch notes, some changes in the patch notes, but I think I'm just going to go back to leveling and then try them out later. So as far as patch notes, that's kind of it. Crab face. Wow. Oh, can we wear this? That looks like the only thing we can use so far. I don't know if we're allowed to equip these. Oh, oh, that's fucking lit, dude. Oh, it's fucking sick. All right. But no. This can go back to PoE 1, but it's interesting that we can equip stuff we got in PoE 1 in PoE 2. I really appreciate this. Like, this is kind of sick. Like, oh, dude, that's ominous as fuck. Look at that. Oh, look at that, dude. Oh my god. I look like a fucking monster. I look like a Final Fantasy 12 judge. I look like the final boss of the judges. I am the only executioner. Holy sh, that is awesome. Oh. Alright, sick fucking changes. Actually sick change. Alright. On that note though, I do have to go. I didn't I didn't think I was gonna like call this early, but that's fine. Alright. Thank you everyone for being here. And I'll see you guys next time. Go take a bath, go brush your teeth, go for a walk, go pick up a dumbbell, and later, gamer, go touch some grass.